You know, I love food delivery services because they're easy, they can save me money and time, but usually they are very expensive. And so I want to check out this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I am bringing in this box that just got delivered. Oops, grabbing it one-handed and tearing it a little bit here. And I want to show you that this thing says Everyplate on it, because Everyplate is going to be a lot happier with this. And this is a meal delivery service that I just found, but the thing about it is that every meal they make is under 5 bones, so it's like Five Below, like a dollar club. I want to say like every meal is actually like $4.99, so it's only a penny under $1, but that's actually pretty impressive. I want to open it up here and just show you what we get. So we get a lot of stuff. I think this is a little bit more like a Blue Apron than a Tavala or something like that, where the meals are already prepared. What you get are the constituents to the meal, and you still have to make your meal. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, but actually kind of not. So part of the affordability of this is that you actually will put a little bit of elbow grease in here, but the meals look good. And that's actually one of the things that I really hate, is that sometimes the meals aren't really that good. They are meant to be healthy and they just don't taste that good. So this looks pretty delectable. Let's see what we get in the box. All right, so with some meal delivery services, I'm so used to everything being packaged individually, like this meal is in this box, this one is in this box. Obviously, you can see we get a lot of stuff, but they are just kind of the constituents thrown in this box, which is nice. I'm not sure exactly how this is delivered, but I added a bunch of hamburgers or cheeseburgers or something. So we get cheese, looks like we get flatbread. This looks like couscous or something, no breadcrumbs maybe. Looks like we have some of these onions, so cucumbers, I love the cucumbers. Oh, full on onions. So you can see the potatoes down there. So we get all the stuff kind of in the box. Just gonna kind of make it interesting to fridge. I think I can put this whole cardboard tray with all the stuff just right into the fridge. And then looks like we get the meal card. So this is what I ordered. Ooh, that cheeseburger does look good with those potatoes right there. So I'm just going to go ahead, put everything in the fridge, and then I'm gonna pick a meal here and we'll start making it. And then we'll check out what all the meals are like. All right, let's get to it. I also want to show you that below that tray of all the condiments and stuff, there is this bag, and this looks like it has all of the meats in it. So there is a ice pack down here, still a little hard. So I'm going to take out the meats and put those kind of in a separate drawer. All right, about to try my first meal here. This is the Crispy Parm Frico Burger. Oh, you're not the only Frico here. This super freaky. Oh, it's got savory caramelized onions and potato wedges. It looks pretty good. Basically, it looks like a burger with kind of toasted cheese on it. So I am excited about trying this out. You can see we have all the ingredients here, so it's a very user-friendly, graphically pleasing recipe card. And soy sauce, all right, all this stuff. I suppose if you don't like any of these things, you could just adjust them yourself. It's also funny because they provide some support. It says ask us live here, live chat. So if you need that, you'll need some stuff. I think they've included some of the stuff, but I know like butter and salt and pepper you need on your own. And then obviously you can refer people there, which I'm going to do for you. And then here are the steps. Looks pretty simple. Wash and dry potatoes. We're going to bake those. I'm going to put the onions in a pan here. I actually don't know if I'll do that because I don't really love onions. So the nice thing is we can adjust those. And then form the beef into 2 patties. So looks like then I'm going to bake the potatoes with the cheese and then put it on the burger. Okay, so I'm going to follow these pretty closely, leaving out the stuff that I don't like. And then let's see if I do like the end result. All right, washing of the potatoes, check. Using of the Rogaine, check. I'm gonna grease my pan here and then grease my body so that I can slip through people's arms quickly. Here's the ground beef. I think this is supposed to be 2 patties. I might have to just cut this open. I don't see an easy way to kind of peel them away, but then I'll make 2 equal-sized patties with salt and pepper. All right, potatoes have been washed and now they need to be cut up into wedges. So I'm gonna do this with both hands so I don't lose any fingers in the process. Interestingly and nicely, the buns are not cut, so they are fused together here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut them in half, and then I'm actually going to butter them and toast them. Just give them a nice little crunch. The buns are done, hun. All right, potatoes are still cooking, and because what I'll have to do here is cook these patties in a skillet for, it says like 3 to 5 minutes aside. I want them to be done when the potatoes are done. So I'm going to wait till there's about 10 minutes left on the potatoes, and then I'm going to start on these so that hopefully it all comes together at the same time. Now, as I said, I am modifying this. I'm not making the Parmesan or the onions here just because I'm not a big fan of either, really. So really, it's just going to be burgers and fries, which sounds good to me. All right, so the first thing I'm going to say is that this is definitely more like Blue Apron than some of the other meal services that come in packages where you just microwave them or put them in your smart oven. So you are definitely kind of crafting food here, which is kind of fun, but it's one of the ways that I think they keep the cost down. But like I said, if you're doing this for a family or other people, and it can be fun to have a little evening activity, I would say that based on the potatoes here that need a total of 25 minutes to cook, you're looking at least 25 minutes from start to finish. So kind of keep that in mind, but that's not too terribly long. But if you are looking for something that's really convenient, like you're on your lunch break, you just want to throw something in the microwave in the smart oven, this is probably not the right meal kit for you, but let's finish this sucker up. All right, I have my pan here, medium high heat it says, and then to put the burgers in here for 3 to 5 minutes aside, which I'm going to do here. And I have my little splatter cover right here, which is going to be nice for the splatter, and turn on the fan. All right. Now, despite the fact that I did not want to do the Parmesan like that, like chicken Parmesan, I did put it on top of the buns here so that I could at least enjoy it with cheese, because I do like a cheeseburger. Smell pretty good here. So that is where we are at so far. Potatoes are going to be done here in just a minute. Okay, potatoes are done here, so gonna take them out. Looking kind of like little golden baked potatoes, so that's good news. All right, now to plate it all and eat this home cooked meal. All right, so this is the final product. Meal for two here, but they're not the biggest burgers, but they aren't slider size, so they're fairly decent size. We got the potato wedges there. I'm going to dress it up with a little bit of Dijon and ketchup as well. Dijon, I am cultured when I say that because that is French. So let's go ahead and try it and see what it's like. All right, got the burger here dressed up, so let's give it a little taste here. It's a pretty tasty burger, considering it was pan fried over my stove. Things are really good with that Parmesan and Dijon and ketchup in there. I actually really dig that. Despite the fact that I made it, it's pretty tasty. All right, swallow that. Now, on to the potatoes here, which are basically just cleaned, cut up potato wedges that are baked. So they should generally be pretty healthy. I hope that they are just baked all the way through. It's a little hard to tell, and I didn't want to char them on the outside, but hopefully they're light and fluffy like baked potatoes. Still hot, but yes, fluffy like a soft baked potato. It's delicious. I could probably even drizzle some spices and stuff on here, but as it is, it's kind of like coming into a baked potato, except smaller and finger food. Hey, that was pretty good. All right, so I have been using Everyplate. I actually ordered a second week of it too, and wanted to give you some final thoughts because I actually have some things that might be helpful if you're trying to decide if you're going to use it. First of all, let me say that as I showed you, the meals are pretty simplistic, but they are pretty good. From like a quesadilla type thing to the burgers. I was able to share them with people, and at least in the kit I got, there were enough for two. And a lot of them are like burger type things. Cheeseburger or a pork burger or something like that. So they're pretty straightforward, and when you get used to making them, they're pretty easy to make. I will also say I really like the recipe cards because nothing is like super complex. I didn't feel like I was dicing anything or sauteing anything and then adding in stuff once stuff got brown, so compared to something like a Blue Apron or some of the other ones that are a little bit more complex or you need a little bit more cooking skills, this one doesn't require that. Now, probably the thing that I like least about the Everyplate box is that the components for each meal are not packed together. So as opposed to something like Tavala, right, the Tavala oven here, everything for that meal is in its own little box. So you'll have everything that you need. So you can just grab that box, pour it out. You'll have everything right there. You're not going to be searching through anything. If you order, like I did, a meal that has potatoes and another meal that has potatoes, they just include enough potatoes. It would be nice if maybe they were bagged and they said, hey, it's for this meal or that meal. So you kind of have to eyeball sometimes when there are shared food items for different types of meals. That actually doesn't make it super easy to know how many potatoes am I supposed to use in this meal, or how many carrots am I supposed to use in that meal. All right, so that one is a little bit confusing. Now I would also say, because it's under $5 a meal, basically, if you are looking to not do meal planning and shopping, grocery lists, and then having to find the time to go out and get it, this is a great way to do it. Have a meal that's pretty creative, that you don't have to put your thinking cap on, something that might keep the family entertained and not necessarily be something like, oh, Ma, you're doing this again. So they're going to get that variety, which is really nice. And it's not going to cost an arm and a leg. And so the price point here is what I think makes this really, really valuable. So if you can kind of get by with the idea that, hey, yeah, everything is not sorted and packaged by meal really well, and hey, I'm going to have to do some more prep. This is not all just prepared and ready to throw in a pan or heat up. You're actually going to have to do some cooking. Well, then I think this could be good for you. But if you are trying to get down to the lowest meal cost humanly possible, you're probably going to be better off doing spaghetti and hamburgers and hot dogs once in a while, and just going to the grocery store and picking up those items, because for $10 I can feed two people pretty well on some pretty simplistic meals. So if you want to pick up Everyplate, I think it's a really interesting option for the people that kind of prioritize price above everything else. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper.